What is up, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone and Ringside Podcast collaboration, the Wednesday Night Wrestling Recap. We are your host, Jeremy Wyman. That's me. Here with the big little brother. He's coming to us via satellite, Joe Wyman, Mr. Gunn.
Acknowledge me.
Not doing it.
There we go.
They did, though, so that's all that really matters. Our guy, Sean, Self-Love Barber.
How's it going?
And my God, it's a different show, but it's 2 times in a row. We are very, very honored and happy to bring the band back together just a little bit. He is it's our guy Daniel Spencer.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
We got we from a showdown to being bound for glory.
Wait, I thought we were never mind. Showdown for sure. Guys, don't forget the chat line is open for all your comments. We'll answer all your questions in real time to get your reactions. If you're a member of the Ringside group chat on Twitter, you have the opportunity to give us a call in the call-in line as well. We'll get you that number. Sean will be monitoring that chat in case you all have anything to say. Miscellaneous news this week. Santos Escobar, one of our favorite interviews we've ever done for Ringside, left WWE for AEW according to Wrestle Talk. Xavier Woods re-signed with WWE at the last second. And then finally, Santos Escobar re-signed with WWE today. So we had a little bit of a roller coaster ride there. I know Wrestle Talk was very, very, and I love Wrestle Talk. Those guys are entertaining. Love everything about them. But they were very, very adamant today that people in the know there knew he was going to AEW. And then it was announced about an hour later that he was going to be re-signed with WWE. I hope for his sake and for our sakes that they utilize him appropriately this time. I know it's kind of hard to get. You've got 40, 50, 60 talents and trying to get all of them taken care of equally. It's got to be hard. Load management there. Sean, we'll teach you about that at a different time. But it's got to be difficult to make everybody happy. So hopefully we get to see the Legado del Fantasma that we got to see in NXT instead of the watered-down version that we saw on the main roster. As you can tell in the background, we're rolling the Joe Hendry episode of Ringside Podcast on the Minitron. We had just said his name, so he has to appear in a few seconds. Questions of the evening. First one, has this been your favorite, speaking of Showdown last night, has this been your favorite cross-promotional event you've ever watched? Second, who got more of the rub last night in your opinion, NXT or TNA? We've all got our different opinions on that. 3, where can this storyline go from here? What would it be best? And of course, with Daniel being affiliated with one of the promotions, we won't try to ask him anything that will. He won't say anything that'll get him in trouble anyway. So we're perfectly safe to ask him anything and him say no comment.
What do you mean? I don't know what's going to happen.
I know. Wink. And last but not least, speaking of, it's come out, there's going to be a tournament. Well, it's not been released officially, but apparently there's going to be a tournament, easy for me to say, to determine who John Cena's final opponent will be, which I thought was very, very interesting way of doing it until I found out who they were planning on winning. And it was like, well, duh, that should have been who it was. Didn't need a tournament for that, but I digress.
I haven't seen this. This is a real thing.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Yes. Do you all want to know who is projected to win the tournament that's not been announced yet? It's Gunther, which we all kind of thought should be the one that got the rub anyway. I want to know if that's who you all think should get the rub on the way out, because I know we all have our different, and I'll ask you all y'all's opinions on our questions of the day later on in the show. Tom Jeffries in the building. What's up, Tom? We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Look, the talk of the wrestling world this week has been the big and secret double taping last night. Still mad at both of them for that. But no, I know it's not y'all's fault. But
I warned you.
I'll be honest with you. I thought there was a 95% chance that you were just pulling my chain on that. Because full discretion. Every week on the NXT ticket list, I get an email, and if it's a double taping, it says be here early for a double taping, or it says there was one time where they did a Tuesday, Wednesday double taping. So when Daniel told me that, and I checked my email, and it just advertised the single taping, I was like, all right, this dude's pulling my chain. He's got me comp tickets already. He's just effing with me. I'm gonna get down there, be mad, and I'm gonna get to go to the show. But no, that's not the case because the results for next week have already been spoiled. So it is what it is. But look, the talk of the wrestling world, NXT TNA Showdown. We have said this for months now. The hottest thing going on in wrestling right now is the NXT TNA storyline, the NXT show. And granted, NXT didn't need any help being the best show on TV every week because it is. But infusing TNA into it has made it exponentially better. The guys that you never thought you'd see there, the guys you never thought you'd see again in NXT, it's just been well done and amazing. And we kind of went into the night last night thinking, Sean, this is going to be two wins for NXT, 2 wins for TNA. It's a win-win. Wasn't the 2 wins I thought they were going to get. Very happy with the way the show turned out, but the Hardys opened up the night in a match, and you could tell they were wrestling some guys that were kind of green because the greenies, as I like to call them, you know, they botched a few spots against the Hardys, but at the end of the day, as me and Joey were talking about off the record, before the show started, we were like, you know, it'd really be cool. The Hardys win the titles, take them to be for Bound for Glory, BFG as they call it in the industry, and defend them against the Dudleys, and then have the Dudleys take both sets of titles off of them. And then the Dudleys could say they've also been, you know, just a really cool thing. Now, what's going to happen to Bound for Glory? None of us know. But what I will say is that it should be a great show wherever you're at. We are leaving for vacation super early in the morning just so I can make sure that I am in our condo with my super box set up, my TNA Plus set up, so I can watch Bound for Glory. It is that important. And honestly, for the last 5 years, I have made sure, because for some reason, every time we go on vacation, there's a TNA pay-per-view, whether it's Slammiversary or Bound for Glory. In the past, I had not made it appointment viewing. The last 4 years or so, it has been. So that's been really, really
Brad, you're taking your box with you?
Yeah.
Because I can't watch it or Steelers games. Dang it.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But no, I'm not. Hardy's opening up the night with the victory over Dark State. As the match started, I looked at Joey and I was like, oh, this is going to be a schmoz. The other 2 members of Dark State are going to get in. They're going to all 4 jump the Hardys. The Dudleys are going to jump out of the crowd. It's going to be a no contest and nobody wins. That's how they're going to get out of it. Pleasantly surprised. Sean, how did you feel about the results last night of that first match?
I think it was the right call, because that now it fuses, like you said. You kind of know where it's going to go, but you don't know for sure.
Right.
You don't know if somehow this may become a triple threat. Maybe Dark State invades TNA to try to get back into that match. And then it's like, okay, so instead of every winner take all, it's like first fall winner gets this, second fall winner gets this title. It could be something like that. Yeah. So that's how you separate it back to each brand or whatever. So it could be very interesting. You could have an interesting thing where the Dudleys become NXT champions and Dark State becomes the TNA tag team champion.
I mean, that's a pretty cool. I didn't expect anything good to come out of your mouth, but that's pretty cool. Joey, what about you with that matchup last night?
As cool as I think it would be for the Dudleys to win the NXT titles and be able to say that they've been NXT champions as well, I don't see, I think that there's a little bit of longevity to the Hardys holding those tag team titles.
Sure.
Getting the Hardy rub on NXT, and then also being able to get the Hardy rub with TNA, I think it's going to be a very nostalgic match, obviously, with the Hardys and Dudleys. I don't expect it to be a 5-star match. Bubba and Devon are a little more seasoned than they have been. Bubba still, I think Bubba still wrestles here and there, but Devon, I do not believe maybe a match here and there, here and there, I mean, like a couple years. So it'll still be cool to, hear the Dudleys music, to hear the Hardys music, for them all to be in the ring. There's some sort of stipulation for that match, Daniel. Is it
It's a tables match.
Tables match. Okay.
Ooh, well, as it should be.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
in a tag team tables match, you have to put both the opponents through a table.
Ooh.
Interesting to know.
Well, it just depended with Vince. Vince would change it in the middle of the match and call the. But
that's the way it is in
traditional.
TNA.
Correct.
So
But,
you all
yeah,
heard that
the
officially.
last
from
table match
Dan.
that the Hardys had was in December of last year in Atlanta, Georgia. It was the System versus the Hardys for the tag titles as well. The Hardys did win that, by the way.
I'll tell you, speaking of the Hardys real quick before we jump to the rest of the show, I thought one of the most innovative things I'd seen in a long time was was it called TLC at Slammiversary? It was a variety of them.
It's Full Metal Mayhem, which is TLC, but the name,
Right.
the copyrighted name we can't use. So Full Metal Mayhem
Sure.
was the TNA name.
So to see him, to see Jeff push a button and a ladder come down from the ceiling, that was so freaking awesome.
Helicopter ladder.
So innovative. So shout out to that. Next match was the NXT women defeating the TNA women, with JC and Soul being the survivors. Another cool thing that we saw throughout the night was the former NXTers coming out to their old music. Mustafa Ali's old music hit right before his new music hit. The Iconics used theirs all the way to the ring. Hearing the Hardys, and of course the Hardys have owned their music forever, so it's like they're going to come out to that when they're old and gray. But just seeing all that stuff was really cool. But JC and Soul being the survivors of that team, due to some controversy between Jordan Grace and Kelani, because Jordan missed a pin where Kelani was about to eliminate, I think it was JC, and she was trying to get some stuff taken care of outside the ring, didn't get it, so ended up ultimately Soul hitting the Soul Snatcher on Kalani, and then JC coming in and taking that pin, which is something we've seen a couple times this month with different tag teams. Saw it last night on Raw, actually, or Monday night on Raw as well. So that was really cool. So when I laid it out before the show, I was like, if this goes the way I want it to go, Hardys win the title, Team TNA wins the main event, and then NXT wins the other two. So the night went the way I wanted it to, which I know that's not how TNA books it. I appreciate it if you do, but I'm sure it's not. Match of the night, Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali. Insane spot where Ali jumps out of the ring into oblivion in a return bout, years in the making. I thought that was really cool the way they kind of made that into like this. I was supposed to get it was at No Mercy, I believe, a couple years ago. He was supposed to, he just inexplicably wasn't on the show that night after being advertised for a month being on there. They let him go, and playing into that, I thought was really cool. That was the night I believe Trick Williams ended up beating Dominic for the North American Championship. Was that initially, that was supposed to be Dominic versus Mustafa, right?
Yep.
And then Dominic out, Trick in. Best match of the night. In the main event, the TNA men win the men's Survivor Series. They went up 4-1, which I was surprised by. Then saw Saints get the pin on Kaz and Slater, which Leon Slater is going to be a star. He is a star, but he's going to be a mega star, I feel like. He may already be. Saints takes the pin after a double team by Moose and Mr. Spin the Block, Mike Santana. And then in a weird kind of after show segment, I thought this could have been on during the show, but it was announced that there will be a number one contenders match next week for the women's NXT championship. All knockouts are welcome.
Battle Royal, right?
Battle Royal. That's what I meant. Number one contenders Battle Royal next week. So Daniel, since we got you here, I want to ask you this. How did you feel about the turnout of last night?
I mean, it was a great showing for TNA. We're 2-2. If you're doing the count, Hardys. We opened the show with winning. We closed the show with winning. The two matches in the middle, I guess technically, they got the upper hand, but it's great. I mean, there was a great showing. It made having TNA on the PC on the back on the screen for the entire time, and most of the camera angles showed TNA where you didn't see the NXT. So I thought that was cool how they put that there. Yeah, it was. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. This is a bold statement.
Okay,
but if you don't think TNA is not the number 2 promotion right now, you lost your damn mind.
Actually,
I know I'm biased, but
a little. but you're carrying the company flag well, and technically there were 4 TNA winners and only 3 NXT winners, so 2-2 tie,
did there
4-3 shootout, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess if you count the because I mean the whole team won, but if you count the eliminations, there's only 2.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was doing. I was only counting the and then the Hardys had the upper hand by having that tag at the beginning. So, yeah, that's the way. So I thought it was a good showing. I thought by far out of the 3 crossovers TNA's done, the one with Lucha Underground, the one with the other show that tried to compete with them last night and failed miserably. And this one was my favorite one by far. Sean, what about you?
Oh, it's easily the best.
Can you put down Christian Mingle for just a few seconds while we do the podcast,
hey, man,
pal?
I'm just trying to.
You swiping left on the fish? I don't know how that works. Joey, what about you? I already know Daniel's answer.
Huh?
I said I already know Daniel's answer, so I'm gonna go to you.
I didn't even know what the question was. I missed it.
Was this your favorite crossover?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, easily this is the best one. 2 things also that were shown last night was the Lexus King and El Hijo del Vikingo, Dr. Franz Wagner segment. So
yeah,
next
I'm gonna get to that.
Next week they're wrestling, and then Matt Cardona and Briggs. But the Matt Cardona segment was hilarious.
Loved it.
Chelsea tweeted out, "I want Matt at SmackDown." So, and I was like, "Well, we want Chelsea at TNA." So,
it seems like a fair trade. I thought it was a complete segment, if you will, backstage. But next week, Matt Cardona does face Josh Briggs, Lexus King, former OVW
you know what?
heavyweight champion.
He is. You know what? I bet Matt Cardona for that match. I bet he was ready because I bet he was ready.
He's always ready.
And King, like I said, Lexus King, former OVW heavyweight champion, Lexus King fights El Dr. Hio Walgreens Wagner Jr. the third A&M Tech. I just went with it. And the match I'm looking the most forward to, though, honestly, Zarya faces off against the Glamour, Blake Monroe. I need to see more from her. I am slow. I wasn't impressed with her at the prior stop. I'm starting to be more and more impressed with her every week that I see her. Have I mentioned lately that NXT continues? Actually, I should start calling it TNXT because they got the upper hand last night. But they continues to be on a roll, and it's the best thing going on TV. Daniel, you can confirm if this is the final card. Bound for Glory, Leon, I almost said Heath. Leon Slater versus the Young OG for the X Division Championship. The Inspiration versus the Elegance brand for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Call Your Shot Gauntlet, Intergender Battle Royal. The only one that I could find that had been announced was Li
Ying Lee.
Bless you, Li Ying Lee. Tessa Blanchard versus Gia Miller. Order 4 versus the System in an intergender hardcore war. I like the sound of that. Kaz puts up the international championship against Macklin. Kalani defends her Knockouts title against Indy Hartwell. One last time, the Hardys versus the Dudleys for all the gold in the main event. Well, it's the heavyweight title, so it should be the main event, even though I can see Hardys versus Dudleys main event. And Trig Williams hopefully loses his TNA championship against Mike Santana at Bound for Glory this Sunday. Did I pretty much get everything?
Tessa Blanchard and Gia Miller.
Yep,
okay.
Yeah.
International title.
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. I don't. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seems about right.
I got 10. I said 10.
Oh, it's 10.
Slater versus Javon. Inspiration versus Elegance brand. Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Tessa versus Gia. Order 4 versus the System. Kaz Mack. Kilani versus Indy. Hardy's Dudley's.
The tag teams, the women's, the Knockouts tag titles. I don't see that.
Okay, well maybe it was on the. To be fair, I checked Wikipedia, so it was on the Wikipedia page. So
okay,
either
it could possibly be announced this Thursday.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. So
you didn't hear that? That's not breaking news on the ringside.
Well, I mean, if you read the spoilers from if they were out there, I'm just saying if the spoilers were out there, maybe so. So
Maybe. My bad. I should have asked about that. Joey, we're going to head to you for the SmackDown report really quick, and I'm going to put some of y'all's comments up on the screen. Our guy, Paul from Mossy Oak, what's going on? Mossy Oak Properties, one of the sponsors of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Joey, go ahead, give us the rundown of what happened on SmackDown.
Now, this is no particular order. I tried to get it in the best order as I could, but so we saw Sol Ruca and Zarya backstage at the beginning of the show. They got confronted by Chelsea and Alba. They challenged them. They had a match, decent match. I mean, Chelsea and Alba can both wrestle really good. Sol hits a Soul Snatcher. They get the win. Sami Zayn had his Sami Zayn U.S. Championship Open Challenge. And whose music hits? Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo comes out, running his mouth, jacking his jaws. And The Miz comes up from behind and gives him the skull-crushing finale. So, Carmelo will not be answering the U.S. Open Challenge.
We kind of thought it was going to be either Oba. We 100% thought it was going to be Oba, right?
Well, that's who we wanted, I think. I don't know necessarily. But out comes Aleister Black. Little letdown, not going to lie. Because, again, I was hoping for Oba.
Yeah.
But good match, really good match, solid match. And during the match, Priest interferes, kind of, gets Aleister Black turned around, Sami Zayn haluva kick, and I believe third week in a row. Blue Thunder Bomb?
Can you call it an anomaly when it starts happening more frequently? I don't think so.
It's a streak now.
It's a thing.
Blue Thunder Bomb for the win. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they later in the night is Aleister Black and Damian fighting at Perth in a street fight?
No, it's on SmackDown.
Next week.
Yeah, in a last man standing, I think it is.
Oh, last man standing. Okay, I knew it was something like that. So I knew they had a fight coming up. We had Stephanie Vaquer, or as Michael Cole calls her, Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer.
It's kind of raunchy when he says it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
And Tiffy Time have their contract signing. They talk a little jazz. Julia and Kiana come out. Little scuffle there. Is that leading to a match with those four? I don't think anything was announced, but
I mean, it could lead to something on the SmackDown before.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Is this Friday we'll probably see a tag team match leading into it. We had Young OG on SmackDown again. That boy's bouncy. Don't know if you know that or not, but
I heard.
Joined by another bouncy fella, Ray Phoenix. Awesome tag team.
It was fun. It was fun to watch.
We talked about how we were enjoying Andrade and Ray Phoenix as a tag team. I'm enjoying Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix as a tag team way more.
Well, they were only tagged one time, but still.
Yeah. So they took on Los Garza, and as long as Los Garza has been in WWE, they can go in the ring. They can wrestle.
Yeah.
They can wrestle. It was another really, really good match. Of course, Javon and Ray Phoenix come up with the win in that one. And of course, in the primetime slot, we had Braun and Braun versus Cody and Randy. During the match, Braun Breaker hits a mammoth spear on Cody through the barricade and gets up tweaking, convulsing, something, whatever Braun Breaker does. He does Braun Breaker things. Seth eventually comes out. We get a stomp, then a tsunami. The beatdown ensues. They're outside the ring. Seth calls off the Bronze, tells him to back up, and then he keeps looking back. Cody's just, on all fours with his neck right in the prime position, and Heyman's telling him, don't do it. He slams Heyman's hand off of him, runs in the ring, goes for the stomp, misses, gets the crossroad, and I found it interesting that the camera panned back to Heyman and the Bronze. They started to act like they were going to hit the ring, and Paul Heyman said, "Nope." Basically, he asked for this.
Yeah.
And then again, now I know it's not when I'm not talking about Raw, but they kind of teased a little bit more of slight dissension with Heyman and Rollins there. So interesting to see where they're going there. And that has been SmackDown.
Absolutely. And then as far as the Raw report, Roman promo at the beginning with Reed and Heyman, the more Bronson Reed, or Jonah or whatever you call him, wherever he's from, if you've been watching him for a while, you've been a big fan of him no matter where he's been. He's sounding more and more comfortable on the mic. He did an interview on Busted Open last week, where even Dave and Bully were like, "You're starting to come out of your shell. We like this." I think he's got the potential to be a megastar in WWE as long as they don't abandon him like they did Cesaro, who I still feel like could come back and be something. I'm really looking forward to that. They panned to Jay, Jimmy, and Roman in the back. I don't really like where this is going. I don't want to see them, like, they just got back together. I don't want to see them turn on each other again. My match of the night, Monday night, surprisingly, Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. Dupree wins a great match by countout. Really love seeing how they have shown her improving every week. Her character, her work in the ring, it was awesome.
Number one, shout out to Jessica Carr. She did amazing with her counts. I told her that. And also, interesting, you said she won by countout, but in the match, Becky was giving her a lot of shh in the match.
Yeah.
And Jessica was like, I'm the ref, so finally I think Jessica got tired of it, because if you notice that the end of that count had a little mustard on it.
A little bit.
And I mean, Jessica Carr can wrestle. So I'm just saying.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
I like it. Then they followed that up with Lyra losing to Roxanne Perez. Bailey drags her to the back. They pummel the Judgment Day women back there. Then CM Punk promo. LA Knight comes out. They start throwing haymakers at each other, which was very, very entertaining. Roman had already told Jay in the back, "Why are they talking at the top of the hour? Why aren't you talking?" He comes out. Punk's like, "Man, I love Jay Uso, but I'm not very fond of little Roman," which I thought that was awesome. They start to get into it. Finally, Jimmy, CM Punk punches Jay, and Jimmy's got to take some retribution. Shout out to Mustafa Ali again. And have his brothers back. It sets up a tag team match later on in the night. EO versus Kyrie, probably match number 2 of the night for me, entertainment-wise. Kyrie wins due to some interference by Asuka. Then they go to the back for that promo Joey's talking about, where Seth is doing some soul searching. And he asks Paul, like, "What if I lose?" And Paul's basically like, "Well, then you've lost us all. So you better not lose." Very weird. AJ, Penta, Dragon Lee versus Judgment Day. 6-man match comes out of left field, or as I like to call him, AJ Lee and Penta. It was a good match. It was an entertaining match. Dominic craps his pants when he sees Rusev comes down to the ring, and then Penta accidentally kicks him. So I'm thinking that's going to set up a Rusev, Penta, Dominic triple threat kind of deal, and I'm here for that. I like each and every one of those 3. And then finally, we talked about the end of the match at Showdown last night, where the JC steals the pin after Soul hits the finishing move. Punk hits the finishing move. LA Knight comes in and steals the pin on Jay, which I didn't like at all. I think it should have been on Jimmy. But overall, an entertaining episode of Raw. It just seems like it was yesterday that me and Daniel and JK, or me and Daniel and Eric, were constantly crapping on Raw. I mean, not as much as we did on other places we won't name, but it was like, man, this is just not good. They're phoning it in. Raw has been good, and it was exponentially better last year. So I don't want to say that just because it's not as good as it was going last year that it's bad. It's still good.
Raw was a very good show this week.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to grade the two together, I mean, even though I thought SmackDown was decent, I'm going to say Raw outperformed SmackDown tremendously.
I agree. I agree.
But I didn't think SmackDown was a bad show either. You know.
No, and whatever this new system they're using for the ratings and viewers and stuff is really screwing professional wrestling. It's adding
screwing everything. The only thing that's benefited is football. Everybody else is not benefited at all. Football's the only one that looks like they've done something. But
do you know? Because I don't really have a full comprehension of it. Do you know what the reasoning behind the new ratings are?
Something to do with smart TVs and all that. I mean, I don't really understand it. I was listening to Cornette talk about it, and even he can't comprehend it. The only person that thinks they know a lot about it is
Kenny Bolin. Oh, wait a minute,
Mr. DM, and I don't even think DM knows much about it. I think he's just trying to pretend like he does so he can put over his agenda. So
he speaking of good old DM, he got put on an open fire like some chestnuts this week by former WWE talent Andrade. So that was very fun to watch.
Boom roasted.
Here's the final card for Perth this early 8 a.m. Saturday morning, which, by the way, if you love wrestling like we do, pre-show starts at 5 a.m. They've got something going on from 5 to 6. I think it's kind of like just like a preview show like ESPN does for like some of the big fights. And then from 6 to 8, it's the countdown show. So getting together, watching it, it's going to be early, but be a fun Saturday morning. Here's the final card. In an Australian street fight, the Aussie Bronson Reed will face the tribal chief, the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky faces the Kabuki Warriors in just a regular tag team match. John Cena will face on one of his final. He's going for pay-per-view PLE win number 100 as he faces a phenomenal task of wrestling AJ Styles, and then the two Crown Jewel Championship matches: Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton, who are respectively the Raw Women's World Champion, Miss Vaquer, and the WWE Women's Champion, Miss Stratton. And at the end, and then at the end of the night, you got the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes facing off against the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. 3-0 is Cody Rhodes. Let's get to some predictions. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Sean?
I think Bronson Reed wins this.
Oh.
And I'm hoping that they use live koalas and throw them at each other.
Okay, this is why you're single. Joey?
There's no way Roman Reigns loses.
I don't think so either. Daniel, what about you? Your expert opinion. He's thinking about it because there is a let's just say this real quick. There are strong points for each one winning.
I think Bronson wins.
Okay. It would further because guys like Roman Reigns are always better when they're being chased. When they're the chaser and not being chased. As much as I love the 800,000 day title reign,
here's the thing. Okay, Roman won the last one, got his shoes back, and then they put the heat on him, right?
Yeah.
So Bronson gets this and has the victory over him, and then they have the rubber match.
Okay.
The only way Bronson Reed wins is Jimmy Uso turns heel because he's tired of Roman's crap.
Ooh.
I don't think Jimmy's turning heel. If anybody's turning heel, it's Jay.
Well, turning on Roman. Maybe not heel, but turning on Roman.
Well,
right. That's why
never turn him heel, though.
Well, Roman's been heelish the last couple weeks.
Roman's over like a babyface.
He is over like a babyface, but like he said when he first came back, some things changed, but not me. He's going back to his heel tribal, because even when he was in the middle of his reign, every time he came out, all the ones went up, people cheered. He was over as a babyface.
Yeah, but you're having him going against the top heelist faction right now in WB.
Yeah, it could be a double. I get what Joey's saying though, because
that's my air quote.
Yeah, well, because Roman's trying to turn Jay against Jimmy, so how can you get any more heelish?
We need to like hook your computer up to the screen so we can like have a view of who he is, so I can see him instead of
who, Joey or Roman?
Joey, so I can like respond to his face. You know what I mean?
Oh, he didn't see my air quotes in. Okay.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I can't see it.
Well, the only thing is there's a delay. So it's like...
Well, you have to plug it directly into... You have to like have a gimmick to plug it directly into the...
Okay, well, listen. We'll get our tech support guy in here to help us out with that. Rio and Ia versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Save that for off TV, off
yeah,
camera.
yeah, absolutely.
Rio.
Hold on real quick. I forgot to give my prediction. My prediction is pain. Rio versus the Kabuki Warriors. I'm gonna go Kabuki Warriors because again, it's always no, I'm not. Rio and Io need to get their come up. They need to deliver their come up into the Kabuki Warriors. I'm going Rio and Io. Joey.
Yeah. Typically, your hometown, home country people don't win, but I don't think since they've been there that they really let Rhea lose.
Well, plus Bronson's losing in the first. If Bronson loses in the first match, that gives them the excuse to be like, "Well, we put Rhea over."
Yeah, I think Rhea and Io win, and it's possible to me because Kyrie's been very torn that maybe Kyrie, hey Daniel, air quotes, turns on Asuka, had enough of it, even though it's been very comical and very entertaining when Asuka leaves the screen, Kyrie's still there. Kyrie!
I just think there's a little bit more gas in the tank with that storyline before she turns, but I can absolutely see that happening.
I just still I'm just happy that WB is doing what the movies do, is that when two Japanese people get together and no one else is around, they speak English, but then when other people are around, they speak Japanese. I'm just glad that they do that.
Calm down, Carlito.
Maybe Io.
I didn't say Chinese.
Fair. Maybe Io decides family is more, and she turns on Rhea.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to go. What about you, Sean?
I think I'm going to go Kabuki Warriors. I think that Kyrie buys in. She buys in wholly into what Asuka wants her to do, and they both she helps cheat to win. They're going to cheat to win, and Kyrie's going to be the one to do the cheating at Asuka's behest.
Here's an interesting question. Let me go ahead and go back to this graphic for a second. I'm just kidding. Which out of these four do you think you have the best chance of getting a date with? That's a serious question. Out of those four, which one do you think is most attainable for you?
Asuka would kill me. So would Rhea. So those two are out.
I thought you were going to say Asuka's grandma.
I think probably Kyrie.
Okay, that's solid pick. Daniel,
what is it? Out of those three?
Rio. Did you already give your Rio and Io versus Kabuki?
Not
okay. Your prediction.
My prediction of who's going to win the match.
Yeah,
I thought who I'm going to date.
Well, I mean, either is fine.
Rhea. Rhea's probably going to win.
Okay. Yeah. All right, John Cena, AJ Styles. I think John Cena wins that. He gets his 100th PLE win. Daniel, what about you?
No, I think AJ Styles is going to do what he does best, and that's
beat up John Cena. Sean?
By the way, shout out to AJ Styles today, because today's also the Miz's birthday. But today marks I think I shared it on the Twitter, or no, on the Snapchat. 6 years ago today, maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 7 years ago today. AJ Styles gave Gracie, my daughter, his glove.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't remember the date, but I remember that.
And then shout out for AJ Styles for being so awesome and cool over the last couple of years, and showing up at Slammiversary. Who knows? Maybe he'll be at Bound for Glory. Oh, he can't be because he's in Crown Jewel. So.
Yeah. Sean, what about you?
John Cena.
Isn't it now, Daniel? You can speak before we get to Joey. Don't let me forget Joey, because I have a tendency of going off on tangents and then forgetting to ask everybody else their stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't it odd to you that two people that I hated with all my guts when we first started this are like two people now? I still don't love John Cena, but I have appreciated John Cena's run. But Roman Reigns, though, you remember I bought a Roman Reigns action figure just so I could throw it across the room.
But here's the thing about John Cena. I mean, he is the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT. You can't deny it. He is the GOAT. Now, yes, I do have the GOAT losing to AJ Styles. I predicted that, and there's a reason, because AJ's going to be around another year where John's gone. But, and it could go either way. John can still win and be fine. And John's also beating for the When he won the 16th time world champion, he beat AJ Styles for that. So, but the thing about it is that John is, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest of all time.
See, now you're making me hate him again.
No, but he is. Give me somebody that's better than John Cena that's the greatest. Tell me who the greatest of all time is.
But that's a different debate for a different show.
No, it's not. Why not bringing it right here? Let's do it. This is the Ringside Podcast, right?
Let me ask a question. Is he the greatest of all time because he has 17 championships?
He's the greatest of all time because he's the biggest draw of all time. He has 17 titles. He's never once, even when, now granted, we just had the heel turn, I get it, but he never once had to turn because of what was going on. He still busted his ass and still kept it going. I can say ass, right?
Yeah.
Kept it going. And then,
I mean, you did, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, that's kept it going and never wavered, and he still was the biggest draw during that time when everybody was booing him, or you thought everybody was booing him. It was just booing him on TV. If you went to the live events, he was over like Rover. But yeah, he's the greatest of all time, and he never left the WWE when he had chances to go to movies years and years ago. He never did it until he finally felt like it was time for him to let someone else take the reins. That's when he decided to do it, and he's had another career, whatever. But he was his heart was in the company from the very beginning. Where my favorite of all time is The Rock. He didn't do that. Hulk Hogan didn't do that. Steve Austin didn't do that.
Undertaker did. He stayed loyal, but
Undertaker stayed loyal, but he's not the greatest of all time. He wasn't the biggest draw. But Undertaker was a great opponent for a lot of people. I love the Undertaker. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't the great. He wasn't the great. And the other person, he went everywhere, and that's Ric Flair. People say he's the greatest of all time, but you can be the greatest when you go everywhere. He wasn't loyal to anything, or even his women. So there you go.
And I think everybody's definition of greatest can be different, right? Because some people may just not like his style and think that one of my favorite wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, even though he's blocked me on Twitter, is one of the greatest of all time.
I agree, Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest of all time, and he was one of the biggest draws and everything else. But John Cena, and here's the other thing. Here's one big key here that Jeremy, you're gonna jump on the board on this right here. You're gonna jump on it.
Okay.
He's an OVW alumni.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I still don't like them, but you can not like somebody and respect them. And no pun. Did you say reigns on purpose earlier? You know, John Cena handed over the reins. Was that a Freudian slip or was that purposefully?
You never know.
No, you don't.
Look, and here's the here's the other thing too.
AJ Styles.
Thanks, Joey. Before I forgot, thank you.
Yeah, AJ Styles.
I love that. You know your brother. You know he would have forgot. He just moved on.
Whoa! I know both of you.
True.
He asked you who's going to win, and now we went into a diatribe of why John Cena should have his boots licked by everybody.
Is the greatest of all time. John Cena the greatest of all time?
See, if he doesn't say yes right away, then he's not sure.
It's fine.
Can I explain it this way?
Yeah, go ahead.
It kind of goes back to the debate, like who's the greatest of all time? Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe.
Oh, that's Michael Jordan. No, that's not even a debate. That's Michael Jordan.
Well, but there's people in different eras that think that Bill Russell was the greatest of all time, and it's an eras thing. John Cena is the greatest of the 2000s.
Yes.
I will say that. But there's nobody walking this earth that will not say.
Well, that's when you bring the Mount Rushmore, right? That's when you do the Mount Rushmore. You have your Hogan, right. You have your Austin, you have your Cena.
Cena being the biggest draw of all time. I tend to disagree with that because I think Hulk Hogan was the biggest draw of all time.
I could make an argument for Austin.
Well, and Hogan also had multiple.
Austin's was just such a short period of time. That's why Austin's was just a short period of time.
But he had like 8 million, 9 million viewers. I mean,
right? But that's the thing.
They took football for a while.
But here's why I will say that Cena was over Austin. Yes, Austin was over like Rover. Austin was at the top when the company was at the top. But when you're in the company when they're not having 8.5 million people watching a week, and you're doing 2s and 3s, and yet you're still making the company a multi-million-dollar company during that time frame for all the other stuff you're doing and everything else. you're kind of out drawing you what what do they say? You're out kicking your coverage. You're kind of out drawing what
inflation, brother.
Yeah.
Ticket prices went up, so the dollar amount that they're
I'm talking about
raking
just
in.
watching TV. I'm talking about the TV.
Yeah,
rates.
but hold on. I want to go back real quick. I want to go back to something you just said.
Yeah,
it's good when you're on top when the company's on top, but the company was on top because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and now you're talking about a time frame when the company may have took a dip when John Cena was the top guy.
Well, but also too. Actually, John Cena wasn't the top guy.
With competition from WCW,
but he wasn't the top guy. He became the top guy because he wasn't top. When he took a dip, he wasn't the top guy. But yes, however, one can argue that Steve Austin wouldn't be Steve Austin without Vince McMahon. So.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan had the title for like 8 years, and nobody, like, as a kid, I didn't even realize that he was the only champion I knew as a kid. I just thought Hulk Hogan comes in, Hulk Hogan wins. That's it. But yeah,
there's a lot of guys that help make Cena though too. Edge, Angle, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, you can go, Batista, Taker helped build everybody.
So Joey Booker versus Tiffany Stratton, who wins that match?
Ooh. That one, man, that's tough because I don't think you want Stephanie to lose right now because she just got the title. But I also don't think I think there's some offbeat shenanigans in that one. And by offbeat shenanigans, I mean Nia Jax. Mm-hmm. I think that one's a no contest. I don't think I don't think either one is losing. But to that effect, though, I don't know, man, because they're going to want to hand that big gold title to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'll say Stephanie wins because Nia costs Tiffany.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Tiffany wins because they have been hyping up her undefeated year so much. But I still think you're right. I think there's shenanigans, but Tiffany wins because of those shenanigans. Maybe because Stephanie and Julia had a face off. Maybe Julia comes out, causes Stephanie the win. I think and I only think Tiffany. I'll tell you the reason why I think that. If you were telling me this was the main event, I would say Stephanie Vaquer's winning. But I have a reason in the next match, which makes me feel like Tiffany's going to win this one. Sean, what about you?
Stephanie Vaquer.
You're going Stephanie too, Daniel?
Stephanie.
All right. So let me get this out of the way. This is why I think Tiffany wins, because I also believe Seth Rollins is going to win. He's been hyped as you've never won. The whole vision's at risk. So they're not going to let both Raw, because last year, Cody and Liv, they weren't both on the same show, were they? Or were they?
They were. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was on.
Sean, why don't you look that up for us while we're.
I believe Liv was on Raw. The Judgment Day was on Raw.
Yeah, but I think Cody was on Raw at that point.
There's no telling.
Yeah, because even me and Daniel were talking about that the other day. Even when you're on one show and not supposed to be on the other, you're on both shows.
So I know why Seth Rollins is going to win. Do you know why he's going to win?
Tell us.
Because he is a visionary.
Huh?
He is a revolutionary.
What?
He is Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I dig it. I just think he's winning because they have. First off, Cody's got to lose every once in a while, or they're going to turn him into the next.
No, Cody.
Cena.
Here's the thing: Cody can lose. Seth is right. Well, you're saying your points earlier that Cody's pretty much had Seth's number.
Cody was on SmackDown.
Cody was on, so they're on different shows.
They were on,
okay.
Yeah. They've had they've had their all this. Cody's had his number all this time. However, though, it's like Cody's in a situation now, kind of like Gunther was last year when Cody beat Gunther. Literally, Cody it didn't hurt Gunther at all, right? He went on, still was amazing, still went on to the WrestleMania and all that stuff. Cody's in this point, he can lose now, and it's not going to hurt him.
Right, exactly.
He is literally the most over person, other than maybe CM Punk, in the WWE right now. And CM Punk's a very close second, but I think Cody got him beat just a little. But either one of those guys, you're not going to hurt them by losing. That's why Punk has lost some matches here lately. It's just not gonna hurt him. So Cody's not gonna be hurt at all. It's gonna do nothing but elevate Seth even more. It's gonna make that title, the World Heavyweight Championship, mean a little more. than it has been as a secondary title. Now it won't be a secondary title; it'll be considered a top tier. Even though we all considered it a top tier, but
Sure.
just hindsight. So Seth Rollins is going to win, get the victory, and he needs it. The vision needs it, and I like what they're doing with this, causing a little, wonder what's happening. What's happening with what's Paul saying all this stuff, and is Paul going to leave him or whatever? And it's just a little drama, in
Sure.
the show, and that's it. So.
Sean, what about you? Sorry, Joey.
It's definitely going to be Seth.
Seth,
You don't build up what they've been building up these last couple weeks to then have him lose, and now you could theoretically have it, and then what does Paul Heyman do? Now they got to in Monday Night Raw. Is he going to drop him? Is he going to go back? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see that. No,
that's got a lot of intrigue to it. Both ways have a lot of intrigue to it, right? Joey, what about you?
You want a third way?
Okay.
We're on the Build the Survivor Series. Seth Rollins wins because member number 4 of the Vision, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, comes out to help, and him and Cody have history as well.
Yeah.
So
we actually watched them face each other in Detroit. Three of the 4 of us did.
Yep. So Brock comes out. You've seen the Paul already introduced him at the last one. Brock walked up to him before and was like, "Hey, we need to talk." There wasn't any mean mugging, grimacing, this, that, and other when the conversation happened. Big Show, another country. I can see him pulling out the big gun, which is Brock Lesnar, to come out.
I was going to say Big Show, another company, but I know what you meant.
What is that? No, I said the big gun. What are you talking?
He did say Big Show.
You said the Big Show in another country.
It's a big show.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
Daniel was just being corny.
Yeah.
So I think Brock comes out.
Seth gets up Cody and gets him disqualified.
No. There'll be a ref bump.
Ref bump. That's my favorite kind of bump. There used to be this guy on.
Maybe we can get Daniel to ref that match. Can you get to Australia next week?
Well, I got to be in Lowell, Massachusetts for.
Why is that? Oh, for Bound for.
Yeah, not get me wrong.
You set him up for that one, Joey. We all know how much he likes to pat his own back. You just grabbed his hand and slapped him.
No, sounds like you're scared of refereeing main event match in Perth. I don't know.
No, I'm not scared of that.
No offense to TNA and Bound for Glory, but if I had my choice between refereeing Bound for Glory or refereeing,
I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I wouldn't go and choose that over the other. I'm just saying that I also got a lot of responsibility. So I need to. I would need to get. I need to know this information now so I can go ahead and.
The funniest part of this is neither one of y'all can see each other, and the faces y'all are making, reacting to each other, are priceless.
I can see his face. He just can't see mine.
Oh yeah.
He's John Cena over here.
He's over here sitting next to John Cena. Actually, let's get into our OVW recap really quick. Icon Lee versus Brandon Davis. Davis tries to explain himself to Linda Kay for standing her up before the match to no avail. Davis wins after hitting Icon with the end game and securing the pin. What, Joey?
I was just saying hi to Linda.
Oh, okay. JJ Lawson versus Tommy De Niro, accompanied by Drew Hernandez and superior Tony Evans. Tommy Boy wins and goes on to explain his reasoning for turning on his father at the OPE. Sin City Outlaws versus the Z-Force. Z-Force wins with an assisted flying crossbody by Super Z from Kid Colossus's shoulders. Easy for me to say. Shotgun Tony Gunn. I seem to see him on one of the grams or chats with our guy here, Dan. They both practice leg day a lot in Gun Day. Shotgun Tony Gunn, by the way, versus Star Rider. Star Rider wins via a roll-up pin. Appears to be building a storyline between the two after the 2 competitive matches in the past few weeks. OVW Women's Champion Freya joins the commentary booth to witness the #1 Contenders Women's Gauntlet match. Kill Akai defeats J-Rod after a power bomb and becomes the #1 contender. There several people. I don't want to go through all the eliminations. The Troublemakers versus the veteran Jack Vaughn and the mammoth Donovan Cecil, accompanied by therapist Larkin. Cecil and Vaughn continue to have differences, but ultimately come together to pick up the win. Steven Steele serenades Linda K with poetry. Level 3 and Cal Hero versus the Trifecta. They Level 3 and Cal Hero wins after a fanny pack knee, and afterwards the Trifecta attack and beat them down. And Rise concludes with Zoe celebrating his U.S. championship win, and his former LOB stablemate Josh Ashcroft leaves the commentary booth to talk to Zoe about his antics before being brutally attacked and left in a heap in the ring. OVW, and we've talked about this before, and of course Daniel's got something to do over there as well. Very well connected in the wrestling world, but OVW is just like any promotion. They have their ups and downs, and OVW, I would say, over the last 3 months, it started to heat up again. They had a really the fallout from wrestlers, like maybe 8 months after that. It was kind of hard to keep up with and watch. It wasn't very entertaining. But again, with it being such a small promotion, I think that, well, it's a big promotion, but on a smaller stage, I think that sometimes makes it seem like the lulls are longer and the highs are higher. But love what OVW is doing. We've been going there for 20 something years now, supporting it. Love it. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. We're watching. Our AEW Dynamite report from our viewer and friend Tom Jeffries. Last and certainly least, AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, live from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Show opens with Adam Page and Samoa Joe face to face. Hangman tells Joe he's giving him this match because he thinks he owes the Ops for having his back at All Out. Joe tells Hangman he'd forgotten who he was because the attention was on the Death Riders and not on the title, and reminds Hangman he has never beaten him. Joe versus Hangman at Wrestle Dream PaloozaCon, October 18th. Moxley beats Ishii by submission in the opening bout. The Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate in a street fight. Shelton Benjamin pins Ricochet after he suplexed him through a table. I fully expect, even though I know it. So can you tell us, or you might not be able to, Daniel, is Cedric Alexander, is he on a per appearance or is he under contract with TNA?
I don't know. I don't know what his contract situation is.
Okay, because Wrestle Talk, the fine people that told us that Escobar was going to AEW, also said that Alexander's contract, they weren't sure if he was on a per appearance or if his contract had just recently ran out and he's working. They expect him to join the rest of the syndicate in AEW in a couple of months. So I
know his agent. You want me to text his agent?
Yeah, do it. That's a big flex on air. That's the type of stuff I do. Not with wrestlers though, but with sports people. Do what?
I said, I know his agent.
I really do. It's Mojo Rawley.
Sure.
Well, he's part of that team. He's not.
Gotcha.
The person I would text was not Mojo. Actually, this is Mojo's partner. But yeah.
So does that make him no Joe, or is it just a little bit less Joe? If he's not Mojo, is he a little bit less Joe?
He's less Joe because his name's not Joe.
So. Fair enough. Jurassic Express beats up two jabronis. After the match, the Young Bucks jump them to set up a tag match for Wrestle Dream, a $500,000 match. In the Battle of the Kyles, Fletcher retains his championship by defeating Kyle O'Reilly. Pretty decent match. I did watch the highlights. That was one shining spot for me. Mercedes Moné defeats Caden Carter. Of WWE, Caden Carter. Her name in AEW is Lacey Lane. In a TBS title match, Moné has now been the champion for for 500 days. Okada and Takeshita defeat Brodito in a tag team title elimination match. Okada and Takeshita will now get a title shot at a later date. Last but not least, Orange Cassidy defeats Pac via pinfall with help from Darby Allin. And then after the match, he maces Pac, and the rest of the Death Riders were held back by when he tried to use a stun gun and light a Molotov cocktail before being subdued by security. This is seeming more and more like a comic strip every week to me. Daniel, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to recap the questions of the night. And I think we've all already answered this one.
By the way, what's up, Wes Broccoli? How you doing?
Yeah, Wes Broccoli said Daniel sighting.
Broccoli. I like calling broccoli. It's funny.
He actually spelled everything right in that sense. So I was kind of thinking he might have been held hostage. No, Jesus, no. She would have just drawn the picture of the broccoli. She wouldn't have she wouldn't have spelled it. We already answered this. I won't re-ask this. Fans, I'll ask you all. Has this been your all's favorite cross promotional event? Who got Joey? I'll start this off. Start you off with this one. Who got more of the rub last night, in your opinion, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters, but I think TNA come out looking really good. Obviously, and this is no knock to women's wrestling because women's wrestling is probably the best in the industry right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the main event? It was the men's match, right?
Sure.
And who won the men's match? TNA. Who won the men's tag team titles? TNA. So I think TNA came out looking very strong in the matches that were put on last night. So I think that if you had to raise one hand or the other, I would raise TNA's hand.
And I would too, because let's just call a spade in this situation. TNA is the NXT's developmental, right? Air quotes. So TNA should dominate them because they are the as far as hierarchy, they're the superior brand. They're a higher level. People don't start in TNA to go to NXT, even though a couple have done that here recently. No, you start at NXT and then you go off to WWE. You go to AEW, you go to TNA. It's not the other way around. So I think TNA, for the first time in one of these crossover things, ended up coming out looking like I was looking really good. I was very, very, very happy that another set of WWE titles didn't go over another set of TNA titles didn't come over to the WWE brand. They finally get to take a pair of WWE's titles over there. And I don't know what the future is for this partnership. I was telling Joey last night what I would like to see is this be a thing where during the summer they beef against each other, and then during the rest of the year they just kind of forget that they've been beefing. It's just, okay, we've settled our scores for now until next year, you guys. And then this is something that's just kind of reoccurring. Where can they go from here? And I'm gonna ask Daniel this last because he probably knows where they're going, so it's unfair for me to ask him. But Joey, what I just kind of mentioned what they could do. Where do you think that this partnership goes from here?
I'll be honest with you. This is what I wrote down for my answer. I don't know. I mean, I think you can just keep without a whole lot of expectations on it. Just you can just keep it going like that. We've got Briggs versus Cardona next week. We've got the Dr. Walgreens and Lexus King isn't really a TNA thing. So
no,
you could. I just think that here and there, after they wrap it up, you just have here and there appearances, on TNA or on NXT.
So kind of like they were doing it first when you saw like a Hammerstein or a Rosemary show up in a couple weeks. Yeah. That was really awesome. That really. And Daniel can attest to this because every time I would see a TNA wrestler come over, I'd be like, man, that was awesome. He's like, in a true Daniel fashion, yeah, I sent over the medical paperwork. I already knew that was going to happen. And so, yeah, I hope it would go. I love the 1-on-1, 2-on-2, the stuff that's right up in your face that's going on right now. But I also liked it when somebody surprised us every once in a while. The Rascals came back. AJ and Casey, which hopefully Casey is healing quickly. One of my favorite young wrestlers out there. I loved what he was doing with AJ Francis. But yeah, if they go back to just it being occasionally like that, in the way that they were sending wrestlers over to TNA as well. Because here's the thing. A lot of the NXT wrestlers that they have cultivated there, they don't have a lot of experience with going out in the world and wrestle. So when they get an opportunity to wrestle at TNA, that's a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be able to do that and get a different crowd, a different sense, and talk to different people in the back, even a guy like our Daniel Spencer here, like that's an opportunity for them to learn and get better, or learn what not to do. So that's awesome that they get to do that. Sean, do you have any ideas on where they can go from here? Or do you kind of agree with what we said?
I kind of agree with what you said because I don't really know for sure. Obviously, they're going to try to build somebody big time at TNA, right? Somebody's going to come out of this as the face of TNA.
Right.
I'm leaning towards it's going to be Santana.
Right, as it should be.
That's, now who's going to come out as the face of NXT? That would be the question I'd have out of this.
Tony D'Angelo.
I think Tony D'Angelo's going to show up. There you go. It could be. Oh my God, I had a thought and I lost it. Who was I was thinking of? There's somebody I had in mind for NXT coming out looking like honestly, Ethan Page is slowly kind of.
Ethan Page should be on the main roster last week.
Yeah, and I will say this though: you had Ricky Saints last night, or Tuesday night. Even though his team lost, he came out looking strong.
That was last night, Sean.
Oh, was last night? Sorry, that tells you where my head's. Yeah, but he came.
He thought he was spoiling something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Javon, they've already started his ascent to the top by putting him on every program possible as many times as they can.
He's going to be in the Rumble for sure.
Yeah, he'll be in the Royal Rumble. I agree with that.
Duke Kofi Kingston.
Here's what I'll say, and I'll end the.
By the way, you asked me a question earlier about. Maybe you didn't, but somebody did. I thought it was you all. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple matches I want to ref, and I'm gonna, hopefully make that happen. But that X Division title match, whew.
It's look. We all have said this, whether it's on the air or off the air, privately. This has a potential to not only. This is not cliche. Match of the year candidate.
I mean, Myron Reed and Leon Slater was almost match of the year candidate based on what they did. So I can only imagine with the level Leon and because Leon and Moose was freaking fire.
Yeah,
and Slammiversary. So yeah.
So this is not a cliche match of the. I think this has the potential to be a top 10 all-time match. Mm-hmm. I'm putting it out there.
Oh, trust me. I'm hoping it opens the show, and I'm hoping I'm able to freaking ref that show.
Well, aren't you the senior referee? Don't you get to pick what you want to do?
Not sorta. I get that. I'm involved in the assignments in a committee in a conversation. But
okay, fair enough.
But I have a great team, and I try to be fair. I can't take everything. I give them stuff too, and
I wouldn't. I'd take all the good stuff. Hey, wait a minute. Why is Jeremy refereeing 4 matches out of the 5?
We don't. Yeah,
give him the Tessa Blanchard match.
Tessa would actually probably want me in the match, so I probably. Anyways, that's going to be twisted in ways.
Yeah, put that on TikTok right after the show.
Wait till you see the picture we post. I can't post this picture yet, but when
Daniel Spencer canceled
after Sunday, I can post this picture. Then when the word's out, I can post a picture. But anyways, everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" No, really, there's not. I promise you. When it comes to that, I try to be fair, and I try to make it make sense. And I would love to take that match. Like there's so many different ones, but we have to make it make sense. And
yeah. Plus, I got to figure out which one needs the rep bump the most because listen. I've said this from day one too. The best rep bump. Now I'll tell you what. Little Nate gave you a run for your money last month when he got obliterated by.
God! But 2 years, one of the greatest of all time. That's okay.
Yeah. But you had the record for about a solid year and a half for taking the best rep bumps. Then he got annihilated. Was it by Brock?
Yeah, it was by Brock.
There was 2 people. Brock almost killed him, and did
Goldberg speared him out of shoes.
Okay, that's what it was. All right.
And then Cena pounced him.
Yeah. Okay, it was Cena I was thinking of. I didn't remember the Goldberg, but nevertheless. Yeah, for me,
I'm sorry, Bill Goldberg.
Yes, Bill Goldberg.
I'm just playing. I'm not a Bret. I'm not Owen Hart and Shawn Michaels guy. I'm not a Bret Hart guy. So.
Love Shawn. Have I said that enough already? Please unblock me. I love you, Sean.
Bill Goldberg.
Here's where they can go. For me, here's what I want to see for the rest of this year. Obviously, I want it to go back to the occasional appearances until it's time to go to war. Oh yeah, I want to see NXT versus TNA Survivor Series War Games. I think there's a lot now. Would it be kind of anticlimactic? Yes, because Team TNA won Showdown. That was a slip. So you're going to automatically think that NXT takes the get back at War Games. But I want to see. I don't know why. This is something Daniel can attest to. This. I have been clamoring for a TNA WWE collaboration for years. I predicted it like 3 years in a row in our Ringside Year-End Awards, and finally it happened. But I just love the I love the characters in TNA. I love the wrestling in TNA. I'm just a big fan of. Unlike Sean, I'm just a big fan of TNA.
So, is it time for me to give my?
Yeah. That's why I start. That's our chemistry. That's you were just supposed to start.
I got it. So, I'm gonna speak. I have no insight, although people think I do. I mean, I do have insight. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is none of this has been discussed eternally and all this stuff. None of this has been okay. So I'm gonna say this: it's not over. Where can we go from here? There's so much we can go from here. We're even right now. No one officially won the showdown. It just looked it was a great showdown, a great showing for TNA. All that's gonna come run over into Bound for Glory a little bit. There's some more NXT TV over the next few weeks, leading into some impacts and things like that. Other PLEs for both companies throughout the year. No Mercy I'm sorry, Halloween Havoc, whatever they're and all that stuff. So I'm gonna say this: I think it's going to eventually. Right now, we're going to play nice. I mean, Ava and Santino shook hands and said, we're partnered. We never really had problems. We're always a partner. Let's do this. I think it's going to come down the line within the next year. Don't know when, but we'll just put a 1 year mark on it. Sometime within that year, you will have a combined PLE of NXT and WWE, not a TV special, an actual PLE at an event at a 10,000 seat arena that's going to sell out because we're both over. And it's going to be amazing, and it's going to do it.
Don't you mean NXT and TNA?
Yes.
You said WWE.
Well,
you said NXT and WWE. I'm like,
I'm sorry, NXT, TNA. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you meant I said WWE instead of NXT. It was like the same thing.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
When Worlds Collide, have I not been pitching When Worlds Collide for like 3 years now?
Even Jordan Grace. So, but we'll see what happens if it's going to be a Worlds Collide. I mean, they may turn it into a Worlds Collide, and they may throw in AAA in it with us too, and all three of us. I don't know.
Wouldn't hate it. At all.
But I'm just saying that's what I see happening. And again, this has not been discussed. At least if it's been discussed internally, I've not been in those privy to those conversations at all. But I see that happening within the next year. I want that to happen as from a selfish standpoint, because I probably would work it, but also it'd be pretty cool, and from a fan's perspective too as well. But there's so much more you can do. I mean, look at this. Joe Hendry for a while was doing live events I'm sorry, I said his name. Joe Hendry has done live events for NXT for a while. I can see other NXT talent magically doing live events for NXT, and kind of building that too as well.
I could also see some TNA guys doing some live events for NXT too.
Oh wait, what did I say? NXT guys.
I can see some NXT guys doing some. That's a bold. That's one of those locks that Daniel just bold lock. It's going to happen.
I can see.
I mean, I do a podcast every week still, but I guess I'm a little rusty here for the Ringside podcast.
Listen, I could really see Joe Hendry doing a Joe Hendry match here next year too.
What else is rusty?
By the way, Jordan and Joe, you guys, I don't know why you didn't call me and talk to me more about. You all needed some help when it comes to your referee skills. I love you both, but they're
wrestlers.
I know, but they could have asked some help from, their favorite referee.
Sean, you need to clip this and then send it to both of them, so that way they know how Daniel feels about it.
So
just go ahead and text them. I know that's what he's going to say. I can just text him.
Actually, what's funny was I was working my ass off this weekend to make sure Jordan Grace got a freaking TNA patch sent to her as quick as possible, because I got the text late Saturday night, and she had to have it, and you can't next day air something on a Sunday. So, and I was also going to Indianapolis, so it was a crazy couple days, but Jordan got that patch.
There you go.
What I heard was that Daniel said that Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace suck.
That's kind of what it's. No.
Oh, the red card gimmick was hilarious. She popped me on that one.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
pretty funny
on that one.
Listen, guys, we appreciate you all. Daniel's wrestling lingo. Well, actually, just wrestling lingo in general.
Wrestling lingo. What?
Well, so like if you make me laugh, I just say, "You made me laugh." I don't pop or
Oh,
work or
pop.
shoot
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
all
because
that.
in other lines of work,
Literally-
pops means something else.
Well, if you hear, you want to
John,
hear the
I'll
story
explain
of.
that to you Saturday morning.
Sean.
Ah, jeez.
Do you want to hear the? Do you want to hear the story of why they call it a pop? I mean, Al Snow's told it.
Yeah, Sheldon, tell us.
Well, the reason why they call it a pop is because it's basically means to pop your nut.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when the crowd gets going, you.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
that's an Al Snow. That's an Al Snow quote.
He explained it
I've
during
heard it.
wrestling.
I've heard it about 1,000,000 times. and
Church
it's true.
people, just ignore that. We can.
Yes, church people, you didn't hear that.
Oh, there's church people to listen.
Somewhat.
I'm a church person. I
Somewhat.
had a great prayer this morning.
Hey, do you know why we shake hands in the business? Because Al Snow taught Cody why. I don't know because I'm not in the
Because
business.
it's a work. Everyone's working together.
There you go.
You can't do it without anybody.
Listen, there was a time I have to do, because who knows when the great Daniel Spencer will come to the studio and do the show
Right.
again. But I have to give him a little bit of credit, which I hate doing more than anything on earth. When we first started the Ringside podcast, which was what now, 8 years ago?
26, 17.
17. So 8 years ago. I was right for once. Yay. We didn't know what we were doing. We had both done some radio. We both done some podcasting, but we were just two guys that loved wrestling. We had similar views. We thought we could do something real. We had good chemistry with each other. We thought we could do something really, really special. And we were right, because the Ringside Podcast has interviewed your favorite wrestlers across every company for the last 8 years. And because at the beginning, whether he had aspirations to be a referee or not, he started doing some refereeing for some smaller promotions across the river, and I would joke with him, well, you're not really in the business because you're not refereeing in the big time. To which, for Daniel, it meant he needed to tell the wrestlers over at that promotion I was talking crap about their promotion and bring them in as guests for the next show. But I would always tell him that he wasn't in the business, and he's in the business, and he has been for a long time. And we are very proud. We think it's very cool that you get to do what you do. And that's the last nice thing I'll say about him at the moment. In closing, shout out to our fine sponsors at Cap Go Championship Belts. Look, we've all ordered from our guy Abdul. He even if if it's a current championship, a former championship, your dream championship, just let him know what you want. He'll create it for you. He does great work. We've shown you my championship title that's here in the background behind Daniel and Sean. Daniel's a customer. He's ordered several things for other people. Our guy Wes Brocky's ordered a couple belts. His friend has too. Let's see. Oh, good. Here's a porn bot, Joey. I'm gonna send it to you in the chat. But he does good work. Go to Facebook, CapGo, CAPGO, championship belts, three words. And even if he does happen to send you something that's a little off, he will make it right. He'll send you the right stuff, and he'll get things going for you. Final bell, closing thoughts. Once again, we want to shout out to the squad holding it down every day from Monday through Friday at Busted Open 24, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, Nick Nemeth, all the whole. I'm going to leave people out if I say any more. Nettie Neidhart, the whole crew, entertaining people. I'm in the car a lot of the day for work, and listening to them literally gets me through every day. So, big shout out to those guys. Appreciate them. Daniel, we have been trying to get a hold of Sirius XM, right? Let's tell a little backstory, because we want to put the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast and maybe this podcast on Sirius XM. I've called them. I've sent them a written letter. No, I haven't called them. I've emailed them and sent them a written letter. I've got no response at all. Now, I know you're going to be around some of the people from Sirius XM this weekend. Do you think you might be able to ask them for contact information for aspiring podcasters, or is that too much to ask? Because I don't want to step on your toes.
Well, hang on for a second.
I swear to God, I hate him so much. Let me text Dave LaGreca real quick and ask him.
Yeah, here I'll just text Dave LaGreca.
I swear I hate him so much. So much. I don't hate him. But yeah.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
Who else you want to text? Bully Ray, Mark Henry.
Yeah. Put them all in the
Bobby
same
Jr.?
All of them.
Put them all in the same group chat and be like, hey,
All of them.
we got this thing called Ringside Podcast, and we want to take it national. We want to take it global.
I can't be my true self until I'm on Sirius XM radio.
It's very, very fair. Listen, we appreciate y'all taking the last hour of your nights. And there was nothing else on TV tonight, not like you would watch it if there was, because we normally go up against Dynamite, and we've actually beat them in the ratings 57 weeks in a row.
And the Cubs won earlier, so they're not playing right now. So go Cubbies.
So are they up in their series now?
No,
No.
they're down 2-1.
2-1, down 2-1. Okay.
They got to win 3 in a row.
Okay.
And then they got to win tomorrow night, and then they got, or not tomorrow, Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Friday night, which is luckily at Wrigley, and then they got to win Sunday in Milwaukee.
Listen, I cheer for a team that was down 3-0 and came back and won the ALDS, or ALCS. So it can happen.
I know it can. I know it can happen, and I feel like they're going to win Game 4. I just don't know about Game 5. That's one thing I'm worried about. I'm a little realist when it comes to their road skills. Their home skills are great. Their road skills are a little.
And their pitching depth is not great.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I say the Cubs win the next 2.
Okay, I like that.
And I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens the rest of the way.
Who we got after that? Dodgers.
It looks like it.
Yeah,
right now, because you never know.
The Dodgers won 2 road games.
Who won 2 road games?
Dodgers.
The Dodgers beat the Phillies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Phillies got home field.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be the Dodgers, and
Dodgers are winning the World Series again.
I think that might be true. I think the Cubs need one more year. So,
for myself, for Joe Wallman, for Sean Barber, and the incomparable Daniel Spencer. I don't know why I went country for a second, but I went with it.
That's crazy.
This has been the Ringside Podcast and Cardinal Sports Zone podcast production of the Wednesday Night Wrestling Recap. Until next time, in the meantime, in between time,
you can catch his ringside.
Hey, that's my line.
Hey, you stole mine.
That's fair. We'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
The preceding is a Ringside Podcast and Cardinal